Receiving property as an inheritance can be a deeply meaningful experience, often connecting us to our loved ones' legacies. But what happens when that inheritance is a shared home or land, and you find yourself co-owning it with family members or other heirs? When you inherit property jointly, you typically have three main options. You can collectively keep the property, you can all agree to sell it and divide the proceeds, or one or more co-owners can buy out the others. The choice between these options often hinges on several key factors, including the emotional attachment to the property, the financial needs of each heir, and the nature of your relationships with your co-owners. Understanding the legal structure of the co-ownership is also important, as this dictates certain rights and responsibilities. For instance, whether it is held as tenancy in common or joint tenancy can affect how interests are transferred and what happens if someone passes away. If you decide to keep the property together, clear communication is essential. You will need to establish a comprehensive co-ownership agreement that outlines how expenses like taxes, insurance, and maintenance will be shared. This agreement should also cover usage schedules if it is a vacation home, and what steps to take if one owner wishes to sell their share in the future. For those opting to sell, the process involves agreeing on a listing price, choosing a real estate agent, and dividing the sale proceeds fairly after closing costs. Should one heir wish to buy out the others, you will need an independent appraisal to determine a fair market value, and the buying heir will need to secure financing for the purchase. A formal co-ownership agreement acts like a prenuptial agreement for property, proactively addressing potential disagreements and preserving family harmony. In cases where an agreement cannot be reached, a partition action might be necessary. This is a legal process that can force the sale of the property and division of proceeds among co-owners, though it is usually a last resort due to its complexity and cost. Ultimately, navigating co-owned inherited property successfully comes down to open discussions, understanding everyone's needs, and getting professional advice from a real estate attorney or estate planner. By exploring all available options and establishing clear guidelines from the outset, you can ensure that your shared inheritance remains a source of connection and benefit, rather than disagreement.